Hello everyone, it's Cape Girl here today to make another YouTube video. So hi, it's me, back again. Today I'm here to talk about Auggie, name reveal, my het Eclipse Max Snow Leopard Gecko. That's kind of his name. I don't know what I'm saying, he's a Max Snow. But yeah, so this is my 1 month update of owning my first ever reptile. So I'm super excited because I've had him officially for a month. I got him June 15th and it's now July 15th. So yeah, he's 2 months old now, which is pretty freaking exciting. So pretty much I'm gonna give you guys a rundown on his journey, his first couple of weeks here, how he's been eating, his enclosure, his personality, and I'll probably ramble a lot, so expect that. So yeah, the first week I brought Auggie home, which I did film a video of me setting up his enclosure, putting him in the enclosure. I had a lot of struggles with leaving him alone, which you're supposed to do for up to 2 weeks. I was leaving for vacation that next week, so I was so excited, and I have such a problem with letting animals calm down. I'm the worst with it. I will admit that. I do not have patience. I need to leave my animals alone whenever they arrive, especially reptiles, mice, hamsters. Guinea pigs are a little bit different. They don't really care as much, but smaller rodents and reptiles need time to calm down, and I never give them that time. I always am like, let me love you, and then they don't love me because I bother them. And so that first week, I let him relax the first couple of days, and then I tried messing around with him, and he screamed at me a lot, and he tried to bite me a couple of times, and I was just kind of like, oh boy. And so he didn't eat the first 3 days, which was probably because of me stressing him out. Let's be honest. My fault. I will change that next time. If I ever get another reptile, I need to stop. And so on day 4 or 5, he began to eat, and I was very excited about that. His mealworms just started to disappear, and I was like, yes, Auggie, go! And then that next week, I left for vacation. I did have a pet sitter. Don't freak out. My pet sitter did a wonderful job. She took care of the pigs really well, all the other animals really well. I actually had her write down how much Auggie ate. So each and every day, he ate 2 or 3 mealworms. It actually turned out that some of those escaped throughout the tank, or the enclosure. So yeah. And so I came back and he grew a ton, and I was very happy, and I was hoping he'd calm down, and he did. He calmed down a lot. He felt a lot more confident, a lot more comfortable. And so that night I came home, I had to clean his cage. Well, I always mess up what to call the home, the habitat, his enclosure. So I had to clean his enclosure, and I had to take off his log hide, and he just kind of looked at me and was like, she's back. No kidding. But he was like, hi, and I was like, hi, and then he blepped me. That's when I really lick you, I call it blepping. I was like, he loves me, and then he was like, eh. And so I actually went through and I found some mealworms turning into larvae, and they actually ate some of the wood, this one round cork I have in there. They ate through, they tried to get up into it, so there was dust everywhere under it. Auggie didn't have access to it, but I was like, mealworms scare me, so I was like, that's gross. And so I cleaned his cage, and sorry if there's noise in the background, the pigs think they're out of water, so they're going to all the empty water bottles instead of the full water bottles. So yeah, that's the pigs for you. Anyway, so, sorry. Okay, and so he also chose a bathroom corner, which I was very excited about. So he chose a little bathroom corner. It's this corner. He chose this corner. And he poops there. He specifically poops there. I was so happy. I now put a little paper towel back there. I've cleaned out the paper towel once so far since I've been back, because the first time I just didn't. The first time I was like, is this his pooping corner? So I didn't put anything down, and then he did poop there again. So I was like, yes, queen. And then I have been putting my hand in the cage, in the enclosure, and he comes out sometime. Well, okay. The first time in a day I open up the cage, he comes out. If I open up the cage later on that day, he doesn't come out. He's like, whatever, I already ate, leave me alone. So if he comes out, whenever I open the doors, I feed him. But I'm also starting to put my hand in the cage, and then I'll feed him, or I'll feed him and then I'll put my hand in the cage. and that kind of gets him a little used to me. He kind of walks towards me, but oftentimes he just doesn't care about my hand. It's not that he's scared of it. The only time he's really scared of my hand is if I try to touch him or if I go after him with my hand, which I don't do a lot, but I did try to take his hide out a couple times and put my hand next to him, and he didn't appreciate that, so I'm leaving his hide in there because I saw some taming tips that said take out some of the hides, and that was a poor choice because he really didn't appreciate it. He just ran, and I was like, uh-oh, that sucks. And anyways, so whenever he comes out, I normally put my hand down. He bled me a couple times the one day, and I was like, he loves me. He doesn't. And, you know, he's doing really well. He clearly is curious of me. If I always put my face right here because he likes to sleep right there. I hope you guys can see. It's where the log hide is pressed up against. And he always looks at me, and he walks up to me, and he like sticks his little nose out at me through the glass, and I'm like, hi, and he goes, and you know, he's clearly curious of me. He's just a little shy because of how small he is, which is very common with juvenile leopard geckos. They're very scared of everything from what I've heard and from what I've seen. And so, you know, he's pretty cool. He's awesome. I love him. I'll try to include a bunch of clips. I'll show you the clip of him eating now, which was really cute. He's so cute whenever he eats. I could watch him for hours eating. But yeah, whenever he comes out, I'll feed him as many mealworms as he will eat currently because he's growing and I feel like he needs that extra oomph. And I have been gut loading the mealworms and I have been dusting them before I give them to him. I'm dusting them with a calcium with D3 and a multivitamin mix, and then he has a little dish of calcium, regular calcium, in his enclosure. And he's been eating them just fine. I've heard that some leopard geckos have problems with the taste. He doesn't. What else? I'll also put up a video, a little clip here of his enclosure to show you what it looks like because it has changed a little bit. The only thing that has really changed is, well, his moist hide is in there. He has used that, but I put a little rock in front of the moist hide and I flipped it over, and he actually does crawl up into it. I think he has shed once because whenever I first got back, he was very dull in color, and then he went into his moist hide for that night, and I was like, good job, Augustus. And so he goes in there. He actually likes hanging out in there every once in a while. I think he's peed in there a couple times because I have had to clean it out. What else? Oh, okay, so I got a piece of corkwood, and I put that in there just because I like the idea of giving him texture, and I'm afraid he's going to get bored, although I know he isn't going to get bored. I feel like he is. So I got him a piece of corkwood, and that's now in there. I don't know, I thought he would like climbing on it or crawling in it. It's not that big, so I might have to get him a bigger piece to crawl in. I also got leaf litter, so he now has leaf litter in his cage. Primarily towards the back and where he doesn't eat. Also not in his poop corner because that would be gross. But there is leaf litter sprinkled throughout like the leaves and sprinkled all throughout like his one cork hide in the back. My back just cracked. So yeah, I did give him some leaf litter. Again, it's not in the front where he's going to be eating just because I don't want him ingesting leaves. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, no, just wouldn't be good. I also added the extra piece of wood I have in here, and I actually glued on some leaves and some different like types of things. He actually has crawled up on top of the cork log a couple of times and slept there, but that was mainly whenever he was really scared of me. He tried to find other places to hide. That's the only time he explored, was to find new hiding places. Now that he's more used to me and comfortable around me, he mainly just sleeps in his log hide, which is great. I love that because I love looking at him. And his little tail's getting fat, and I die. I'm like, oh, little tunky tail. Tunky tail. He's so cute. So yeah, that's just about all that has changed with like his enclosure. I do want to do a couple of other things. A couple of things that I do want to do is I want to take out the foam backing, so the background in my enclosure. I want to take that out, and I want to leave it empty in the back. It'll free up some space. Like this foam thing takes up like 2 inches of space. And also it would give him a really secure day and night cycle. No sun is directly on this half of our house. The sun comes from this way. And yeah, so the sun comes from this way, and there's no windows around here except for this one. So there's a tree right in front of this window. So he won't be baked in the sun. He won't be like having direct sunlight on him. But I feel like it'll give him a really secure day and night cycle. And on top of that, I don't know, I feel like it'll benefit him, and also it'll free up some more space. And I want to make some magnetic ledges for the back. Not too high, like I'm not going to make them like this high and he can't get to it, but like some low ones. And I want to also get some like suction cupped fake plants to hang, to not make it super bright, but to also make so like the leaves and stuff won't let as much light through. I hope that makes sense. I'll make a video on it if I end up doing that. Now, I'm not going to do that anytime soon because he's not comfortable coming out of the tank yet. So I don't want to like force him out. Okay, so yeah, moving on to Augie's little personality that's emerging. Again, he's very curious of me. He's a very hungry boy. He loves his freaking mealworms. He is so excited for food. He's a good hunter. I just feel like I got the perfect leopard gecko. He's curious. He's a very good appetite. He's a good hunter. Like, I got the perfect leopard gecko. He's pretty. Like, he's perfect and beautiful, and I love him. Yeah, so he's 2 months old now. I think I said that earlier, but you know, if he turns out to be a girl, which I won't know until he's about 6 months old or older, I will have to check just to confirm, but he is a temperature hatched male. So if he does turn out to be, I can't speak. Reset, I can't speak. If he does turn out to be a girl, I will keep his name Auggie, but his name will be August. I almost said Augustus. What else is there? Is there anything else, Auggie? He hasn't come out. I do apologize. Again, he's not hand tamed, so I can't bring him out, but I will try to include so many pictures. I went and saw my cousin's leopard gecko the other day, yesterday actually, and I'm going to include some pictures here of him. He's very cute. He's about 10 months old. Well, she hasn't had him for 10 months, but that's what someone online said he looks to be about. She got him from Petco. I got Auggie from a breeder. And she's kind of what really made me want a leopard gecko, because Elliot, hers, is very calm and very cute, and he was bigger and he let me hold him. And I actually helped her set up his enclosure, and because I knew a lot about leopard geckos before, because I had wanted one before, but I just didn't want to take the investment. But after interacting with one, I really enjoyed it. Recently, I also went to a Reptile expo, which is where I got some of Augie's cork and the leaf litter. I actually got to hold this beautiful female leopard gecko. She was all brown. I'll try to find, I have a picture on my phone. It's not of her, but it's it was a patternless brown leopard gecko. She was freaking out. She was so scared. So I gave her back, and the guy was like, oh yeah, and I actually took his card. She was beautiful. I want all the leopard geckos. Let's not lie. I actually want 3 leopard geckos. I would love to have 3 leopard geckos. I think that would be my limit, personally, and I am kind of interested in ball pythons now. I don't know. Now, having my first reptile, it has opened up so many doors. So many ideas. Because, again, it's a whole new territory, and it's a whole new learning experience. Because I've owned quite a bit of small pets. I've owned mice, I've owned hamster, I've owned guinea pigs. I'm going to be having rabbits soon. I don't know. I've owned quite a bit of different rodents, but I have only ever owned one kind of reptile for a month. So, yeah. I guess that's where I'm going to end this video, because I'll just keep rambling on and on about him. But, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't, subscribe. If you didn't, then goodbye!